Happy Star Wars Day. This is the video for May the 4th. That's why it's called Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. All right, well, lots of folks in my household like Star Wars. I'm not a huge fan, but I'll embrace anything that's a holiday or that provides us a math challenge. So here we go. We're gonna start this one at the top. And so Kylo Ren. You're thinking in your head, hopefully, what is Kylo Ren worth? Or maybe you're thinking, how do we figure that out? So let me show you this real speedy quick over here to the right. This also could be looked at in this way. Oops, I'm off my screen. And so then that looks like some of those equations we've been solving. So dividing by 3 is how we learn that Kylo Ren is worth 14. And so then we learn that that's equal to, I think this is the older Luke Skywalker is what I believe. I forgot to ask the experts in my house, but that's what I think. Okay, so then 14 plus what equals 17? 14 plus 3 gives us 17. So we put that here. That's BB-8, right? BB-8 times BB-8, or 3 times 3 gives us, I don't know, I assume this is some sort of fighter of some sort. That I do not know. So now we put in our values. It looks like this is 26. So I'm going to post in Google Classroom a different Star Wars puzzle today that will be a bonus opportunity. So check Google Classroom for that. So today, our goal here mathematically is to tackle mean, median, and mode, or introduce those. So you have a vocabulary assignment on mean, median, and mode. You have a con lesson this week on mean, median, and mode. And your other con lesson will be a review of equation solving. You're going to be looking for mistakes in equations. So what are mean, median, and mode? Well, we're going to go over those. I've defined them here on this paper. So remember to be using your tools when you're working on things. So the vocabulary is going to go over the definitions a number of times, but you can have any of these tools at the ready while you are working at home. Remember, usually I would be going around and checking in with tables or giving feedback, or we'd start the next day with something that we go over on Monday. But we don't have that luxury right now. So you're going to have to kind of use these tools and have those be your prompts. So here we go. What are we looking at? What data set are we looking at? These are the scores of Billy's last 7 homework assignments. All right, so we got a 7 on one, a 3, an 8, a 7, a 10, oops, and a 7. All right, so what does that do here? So we are working on the median first. So the median is the middle number, here's the important part though, in an ordered set of data. What do we mean by ordered? We mean put in order from smallest to largest. So that's the first step in the median. So I'm going to go up here to my list. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 homework assignments. So I need to list those 7 numbers from smallest to largest. So we have that oopsie-cadoodle first, and then we have a 3, and then we have 3 7s. 1, 2, 3. We have an 8, and we have a 10. Now, when I do that, I always go through and make sure, did I indeed get 7 written down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I did. Sometimes I'll actually go through and mark them out, but I didn't want to make this too messy. Because if I have a data set of 7, but I only write down 6, then obviously my data is going to be off. So the middle number in an ordered set of data. So sometimes kids count from the front and the back. So we say, these go away, these go away, these go away, and this, whoops, is what we're left with for the middle number. I brilliantly just put on lotion right before so I couldn't even get my marker cap off. So 7 is the middle number. Also, if you're thinking about it, what's the middle of 7? Well, you could count in 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 3 numbers lower than that, 3 numbers higher than that. That's another way of thinking through the median. So median's the middle number in an ordered set of data. All right, the mean is the average. So this is how we calculate your grades, for instance. We put all of them into, I sometimes refer to it as the pot. Here's all the points that you earned, and then we divide by how many points you could have earned. Okay, so add the numbers and divide by how many pieces of data you have. So again, we have these 7 numbers to add up. So sometimes I like to group things to make it easier for me to add. So I could do the 7 and 3 because that's a 10 plus 10 gives me 20 plus 15, that gives me 35, plus 7 gives me 42. But essentially you are adding all those however you'd like to think about it. However you want to group. Now, does that 0 get counted in the mix? It sure does. And so as we're talking about grades here, that's what happens when you forget an assignment. That really does end up impacting your grade. So we'd add all those together, and then we divide by how many pieces of data we have. Well, how many pieces of data do we have? Well, we have 7. Let me make sure I got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. I showed you how I added there, and I believe we got 42, right? 10, 25, 35, 42 divided by 7 means Billy's average score on his homework assignments was a 6. Okay, and mode is the simplest to find so long as you remember this important element. It's the number that appears the most often. So a lot of times we connect mode and most, but then the problem with that is kids think it's the highest number. No. It's the number that appears the most often. So it's what's happening the most. Well, in Billy's lineup here, we see 1 3, 3 7s, 1 8, 1 10, 1 0. So what was the score that happened the most? That was 7. That's the score that he earned the most often. So you can see here we did 3 different calculations. These are called measures of center, by the way. And you can see that we were pretty close on all of them. And so then when you're trying to make determinations about a set of data, which you'll do much more in 7th grade, you can use all of those together to say, okay, so the measure of center was 6 or 7 for Billy, because you've got a couple 7s here and a 6. Median, middle number in an ordered set of data. Mean is the average. Mode is the one that happens the most often. All right, kids, mean, median, and mode, that is your focus this week. Happy Star Wars Day. Take care of yourselves.